Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 10-Minute Tuesdays. So I wanted to bring you a little bit of a segment each week that went over some of the questions that you guys have. So what I did is I had you ask the questions that you wanted to know from me, because sometimes, I put all these tutorials out and I'm painting furniture, but you have questions about the business aspect of it too. So I am going to answer questions about the business part of it. I'm going to answer questions about myself, and hopefully you don't get bored. Okay, so here is what I'm going to do. Take my phone out. Okay, we're going to set this timer to 10 minutes. So that way you don't have to listen to me talk any longer than 10 minutes. Start 10-minute timer. Okay, so first, I'm going to answer a couple questions. Since this is the first week, I wanted to answer questions about myself and how I started first. I didn't want to backtrack and answer questions about, I don't know, anyway. So someone had asked me, what did you do before? So I have this list of questions right here. So what did you do before you painted furniture? That is an awesome question. So before I painted furniture, I actually was a government employee. I was active duty Air Force. I did get a master's degree in psychology right before my daughter was born. And then once my daughter was born, who is now 7, we decided that it would be best for me to stay at home. At that time, we lived in Italy. And so, finding a job in Italy is really tough for Americans unless you find one on base. My husband's active duty military as well. So we're a military family, we move around, and we were able to. So I was grateful and blessed to be able to stay at home with my kids. And so my daughter is now 7. I have been a stay-at-home mom. Well, okay, I've been a work-from-home mom for a while now. So that's what I did before I started furniture. Now, the other question is, how did you start this? Okay, so if you've ever watched my podcast with Brandy, I have told this story a few times, but we had moved from Italy to Cheyenne, Wyoming, and my husband said, I really want this big hutch. And so we bought this, I don't know, it was probably from the 80s, just dark brown hutch. And he said, it would be really cool if it was white. So here I am walking over to, going to Michael's and getting myself some high quality chalk paint. I know that was kind of mean. It's better than other things. So, when you're first starting out, you use what you can, and not everybody can afford, super expensive paints. So Michael's paint is what I started out with. And I used it for quite a while. That and the Hobby Lobby paint, and I've made my own chalk paint, and I've used every single brand that there probably is out there. So what I did is I started painting a hutch, and it was white, and it was, I kept it for a long time until we moved to Germany. Not for myself, but for my husband. So my husband is a complete opposite of me. I am all colorful. My whole life I've been colorful. I'm attracted to bright. I'm kind of like a mosquito. I'm attracted to bright lights. My husband is very docile and stoic, and he likes just calm. So I drive him crazy. I'm sure I drive him crazy. But anyways, so I painted that hutch, and then I painted a couple other pieces, and my husband said, hey, why don't you do this as a business? And I said, people don't do this for a business. Well, I was so wrong. So that was probably, I want to say that was 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe 2015, 2016 timeframe. I don't remember exactly. So that's how long I've been actually painting furniture as I started as a hobby, but it quickly turned into a business, and I flipped furniture and it turned into a business. So then someone had asked me, how long have I been doing this? And so I have been DIYing my way through, my husband and I have owned 2 homes. So before we even had kids, we owned this house that was built in the 70s in Missouri, and we completely redid it. I painted everything, painted the molding, we replaced things, we tiled, we had mold actually in our kitchen, and we completely gutted it, and we redid everything. The subflooring, the flooring, the insulation, we did the backsplash. And then we also had owned a home in Wyoming, and the basement was not finished. And my husband and I finished it together. The only contractor we had come out was someone to dig back up the drain that our shower would go to. But other than that, we did everything ourselves. I was like 7 months pregnant with my son, who's now 3.5, holding up sheetrock so that my husband could screw it into the ceiling. And I was like 7, 8 months pregnant, doing sheetrock, mudding, taping, all that stuff. My son came a little bit early, so I think that's probably why, because I didn't take it easy. But so I've been mechanically inclined my whole life, but on my wall in high school, I painted a mural, and I've always been artistic. My mom's artistic, my brother's artistic, and finding furniture has really showed me that I'm artistic. So, and so that kind of answers your question about how I started. And then someone said, what is your advice for those trying to start? Okay, so I'm assuming that means like trying to start a business. So my advice to people trying to start a business is start small. Rome was not built in a day, okay? If you try to do too much at once, you will burn out. So focus on what's your goal. Do you just want to flip furniture to make money, to put food on the table? Is this a hobby? Is this something you absolutely need to do? Think about why you're doing it and what you want to get from it. So if this is a necessity, then forget all the other stuff right now and focus on getting furniture, good quality furniture out there. You also, especially if this is going to be for the longevity, you want to make sure that you're doing these pieces properly and right, because for every one furniture artist, there's another 10 down the street. So the only thing that's going to make you stand out is your quality and what you can offer. And so, be conscious of that. Don't undersell yourself. But I also understand that people have to put food on the table. And so don't undersell yourself, but also be realistic about, if you have to feed your family, you have to feed your family. So you take what you can when you're selling things. We all made this mistake in the beginning where we're putting in way more work than what we're getting paid for a piece. So there's so much information out there now. When I first started, there was not information. Nobody was there to give me pricing advice. No one was there to give you advice on just how to start a business, what to do. It was very like, hush hush, you don't ask people. And now it's changed. So maybe find an artist and reach out to them and ask them questions. Maybe ask them about pricing and ask them how they sell things. So my advice going back is start small, okay? Start small. Especially if you want to, let's say you want to become an influencer or you really want to build your online business. Don't try to do Facebook and Instagram and blog and all this stuff at once. Focus on one thing at a time and nurture that, okay? So let's say that you want to become an influencer. First of all, make sure that your work stands out, okay? But I'm not saying be somebody that you're not. Be real and let your work be. Now, I understand that sometimes people cannot do that because they have to sell furniture. But as an influencer, you need to be able to influence people and step outside the box. So if you are painting furniture that is super safe, I'm not saying that it's not inspirational, but it doesn't stand out. So you want to make sure that you're inspiring people to step outside of their comfort zone and try other things. You're inspiring people to put color in their house. So that way, us as furniture artists aren't having to paint neutrals all the time. You're wanting to show people what's possible and show them that it's okay to have color in their house and it's okay to paint with color. So I feel like as an influencer now, because my business has changed so much, I feel like as an influencer now, that's kind of my job is to show people what's possible and to get them out of their comfort zone and to get them to try new things or put color in their house so that we as artists are able to be creative and let that out. And so if you, like I said, you need to start small and start with just a business Facebook. And I always tell people too, let's say that your business is Kathy's Cool Creations, okay? If you're serious about being online and you really want to market your business, then what I would do is build a Facebook page with your name, okay? Build a YouTube channel with your name. build an Instagram with your name. Even, heck, you could build a Twitter with your name. Also, make sure that you get a website. You don't have to work on all of those things, but you have those things in your arsenal. So that way you know that you've done that. You've got all these platforms that have your name on it. Because let's say that five months down the road, another Kathy comes along and then she takes that. And then you're stuck with Kathy's Creations 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at the end of your Facebook page or something crazy like that. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. So start small. And I hope that this gave you some more information. If you guys have questions, please put them in the comments below. I'm really hoping that this is successful and you guys really enjoy these 10-minute Tuesdays where I just answer questions. I answer whatever questions you guys have. Paint related, business related, I'll answer anything you want. Pretty much anything you want. So again, I am really looking forward to these Tuesdays with you guys, and I really, really, really hope that you tune in. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell. Also, if you are just finding me, I do a lot of furniture tutorials. So check out my page. Check out my YouTube page. There's a lot of really good furniture tutorials on here, and it's creating art. Okay, there's the timer. Look. My annoying timer. It's done. 10 minutes is up. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you next week. Bye. Ciao.